Hello, lovelies. Today I'm going to be reading for January 2020. And so hopefully I can give you some kind of insight, some guidance, and prediction for what to expect in January. And so if you like this, if you want this kind of thing to continue, please like, subscribe, comment down below. Let me know what you think. Let me know how this resonates with you. And let's get into this reading. All right, lovely. So I have 3 different piles. Each has 3 cards. This is the January 2020 prediction reading. So this first deck is pile number 1. Second one is pile number 2. And this is pile number 3. The charm for pile number 1 is a pair of dolphins. To me, this represents friendship or partnership. So that may be what resonates with you. Pile number 2, your charm is a gear, like a gear at a clock or some other mechanical something or other. But this is a gear. And that may be things working together to make the machine work, so to speak. Things coming together, things fitting into place. The third one is a yin and yang. It's a yin yang. And so to me that represents balance, finding the good and the bad, balancing the bad with the good, and just finding balance in general. So take a moment, take a deep breath, think about which pile resonates with you the most. And you may have more than one pile that resonates with you, and that's great if you do. But just think about it. What do you seem drawn to the most? Okay, so I'm going to start with pile number 1. Like I said, the dolphins represent friendship or partnership. It could represent a romantic involvement, but I really get the friendship feeling from these charms, from this particular charm. So let's see what this deck says. You've got Cernunnos. You've got the Princess of Cups, and you've got the Princess of Pentacles. So what this is saying is you are waking up to taking responsibility. This is a new thing for you. All this time, someone else is taking responsibility for you. Whether it's you're growing up, your mom would clean your room, do your laundry, do a lot of things for you, and now that you're an adult, you've got to start doing these things for yourself. You know, you have to buy your own groceries, do your own laundry, pack your own lunch, kind of thing. Not always fun, but when you wake up to that responsibility, you have more control over what happens in your life. And so, but it's like waking up from a deep sleep and you're like, oh my goodness, this is the best sleep of my life, but I have to pee, so I have to get up and go to the bathroom, because if not, I'm gonna have a big mess to clean up. So it's kind of that kind of feeling. But you're no longer feeling trapped by whatever it is that you felt trapped by before. You're now experiencing some freedom, but as they say, with freedom comes responsibility. So think about that. You also are gaining control over your emotions. That's a challenge for a lot of people, especially if you're a young adult, you're going from, middle school, high school to college, adulthood, professional situations, that kind of thing. And so the feelings that you were having when you were younger, it's okay to still have those feelings, but you're gaining more control and more balance. You're not allowing things that used to bother you anymore. You've kind of grown out of that. Like if somebody calls you a name, if someone talks ugly about your mom, things like that, you respond to it differently than you used to. And you're in this new maturity that you're developing. You're learning to respond rather than react. And that's a huge step in evolving and growing. But you're finding that peace that it was hard to find before. Because before, other people were taking responsibility and you were able to blame other people for your actions in a roundabout way. Someone was making you feel a certain way or making you do a certain thing. Not so anymore. You're choosing what you are deciding to feel and what you're deciding to do, and you're in control of that. And by the same token, you're taking responsibility for how you feel, and you're saying, you know what, I'm not going to let this pipsqueak calling me out a name bother me, because I got other stuff I got to do. I got grown people stuff to do. So keep that in mind. Also, with this Princess of Pentacles, you're very contemplative, and you're reflecting back on your past, and that's allowing you to move forward into these new relationships and this new partnership. This may be a new job, this may be a new school, you may be thinking about going back to college or getting another degree or something, but you're thinking about other opportunities to learn and to grow. You're thinking about other opportunities to make money, and this might be starting your own business, this might be learning a new trade, the possibilities are endless. But I think in order to get to this point, and in order to have these fulfilling relationships, you're gonna have to take responsibility, learn to control your emotions, and that it takes time, trust me, but you can do it. And then you'll be able to more clearly be grounded in what it is you're wanting to do with your life. So that is my message for group number 1. Comment below if you have questions, or if this resonates with you. I want to know. I want to know how this works out for you. So thank you, group number 1. All right, group number 2. We have, your charm is the gear, and it's just like the gears in a clock or some other small machine, or I guess it could be in a big machine too. And so when I think of this, I think of things fitting into place and making things go smoothly, making things work correctly. And so for some of us, that's extremely important, that things work like clockwork. Things need to go accordingly. And we've orchestrated things and put things in place so that they do go accordingly. It could be as simple as laying out your clothes the night before you have a big interview. It could be making sure that there's always, milk, bread, butter, and all the staples in your refrigerator. It could be, just setting things in place to prevent disasters from happening later. So let's see what these cards say. You have 10 of Pentacles, got the 9 of Swords, and the 4 of Pentacles. So you have lots of family around you. This is an excellent card with the 10 of Pentacles. It's the completion of a cycle. You're very much You've got your supports in place. This is a card of accomplishment. Not only are you where you want to be, but you also have all the support around you. You've got, you know, the old man, the child, you know, the mom, the dad. It's all, you know, very connected, very, very strong family ties right here. It's like you're, this could be a card about an inheritance. It could be a card about money, but it doesn't have to be. It's more about home and groundedness. This is home, okay? With the King of Swords, this guy is very direct. But you might feel like things are not fair. You might feel like you're being accused of something you didn't do, or something along those lines. So you want to be, just be aware of, you know, things may not feel very fair. Things may not feel like they're falling into place, but they actually are. If you feel like someone has done you wrong, and you want to do something about it, like I'm talking about legally. If you had a legal situation, make sure your ducks are in a row. If you're taking someone to court or something like that, you want to make sure that your ducks are in a row, that you have any evidence you might need, things like that. I'm not an attorney. I cannot advise you legally, but that's what, that's just the general feeling I'm getting from this card is you need to have your ducks in a row, in order for things to progress fairly. Otherwise, you're going to feel like things are not fair, and not going in your favor. So just be aware of that. And regardless of how this situation goes, you're still going to have the love and support of your family. Okay. Also, be careful about money. You may have this urge to spend, but this card is saying save, because, you know, and make sure that your assets are secured. You may have to change your passwords pretty frequently. You may have to set aside some money in a safe or something like that, but you're definitely wanting to protect your assets, and that means, you know, you may have to get a lockbox to put your valuables in or something like that, because without being holiday season, it's also high crime season, so be careful about that. But you definitely want to protect your assets. Not my favorite reading, but this is saying, you know, it's a almost like a warning in a way. But if you're warned and prepared, you can make things go accordingly as long as you are prepared. So get these cogs in place to make the machine go accordingly. Okay. All right. Best of luck with that, group 2. All right. Group 3. We've got the yin yang. The yin yang is a symbol of balance. You're finding the light within the darkness. You are balancing the good and bad, and you're, you know, that's a huge thing. Okay, so let's see what these cards say. You've got the Death card. Don't get freaked out on me, okay? Death card, and then you've got the 8 of Cups, and then you've got the 2 of Cups. So, with the Death card, this doesn't necessarily mean there's an actual death happening. This doesn't mean that a loved one is going to die necessarily. This usually means that it's the end of a cycle. It might be the end of a relationship. It might be the end of a job. It might be some changes that are happening. But whenever one door closes, another one opens. And so this is that transition between something that ended and something that's beginning again. But the feeling I get is that you're resisting that change. And the more you resist, the harder it's going to be. It's going to be a lot easier if you just go with the flow. It's kind of like when you get sucked down into quicksand. The more you struggle, the farther deeper into the quicksand you go, and the harder it is to get you out. Whereas if you just chill, you're able to float. So chill and float. You also are walking away or leaving something that's no longer fulfilling for you. You're headed for higher ground. This does not vibe with you anymore. That's the 8 of Cups. You're leaving behind something that's no longer emotionally fulfilling for you. You're leaving behind that emptiness and sadness, and you're walking toward higher ground. You're going to where the top of this stream is so you can get better, cleaner water. You're heading towards something great and something powerful, and you're leaving this business down here because that's no longer serving you. It's no longer working for you. And then you've got the 2 of Cups. With the 2 of Cups, there's an invitation. It could be a partnership. It could be romantic. This one feels romantic, but it doesn't have to be. It could be, and it could be accepting a new job position. It could be accepting a new partner. It could be finding someone who resonates with you emotionally. But it doesn't necessarily have to be an emotional thing. But with the Cups, it usually is. Like I said, it doesn't have to necessarily be romantic. It could just be somebody that vibes with you, But again, anytime there's 2 of anything, there's balance that we're seeking. And so you may find the yin to your yang, or the yang to your yin. You may find that person that kind of complements you. Notice I said complements and not completes, because it helps if you are a whole and complete person meeting another whole and complete person. And then when you come together, you build each other up. If you are not whole and complete, then you're never going to feel whole and complete by another person. That a lot of times will fail. So they may help you get to the point of feeling whole and complete, but they're not necessarily the completion piece of the puzzle. Hope that makes sense. But anyway, on here, something's ending, you're moving toward higher ground, and you're starting something new. Is kind of what I'm feeling. But there's balance here. Something is working in harmony there, and I think that's a beautiful thing. Again, if you got questions, if you got comments, please comment down below. Let me know how this works out for you. But this is your reading for January. I wish everyone all the best. Like I said, if there's questions, if there's comments, please let me know in the comments, and I hope you have a great January. Thank you.